You open the fridge, there's nothing there. So what's it gonna be? Greasy pizza? Sad drive-through burgers? Dish by Blue Apron is for nights like that. These are the pre-made meals of your dreams. At least 20 grams of protein, no artificial flavors or colors, no chopping, no cleanup, no guilt. Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
You're listening to Achtung, Millwall, broadcasting from the beautiful South Birmingham. Accept no substitute.
Hello, dear listeners. It's Monday with Merv time, celebrating that wonderful win at Loftus Road. Joining me to chew over the cud of that fantastic victory in the end on Saturday is Merv Payne, the man himself. How you doing, Merv?
I'm good, thanks, Nick.
We're just talking off air. The league table, which you shouldn't really look at, as you said to me rightly. But we're sitting in 6th spot at the moment, Merv. This is 10 games in. I think I saw Matt Richards post on X that this is our best start to the season since we returned to the championship in 2017.
Yeah.
It's quite an achievement on pretty much, we scratched and scraped our way with injuries through this season so far. Some achievement really at the moment, isn't it?
It definitely is. And I think out of our 9th season back at this level, I think we've always started slowly, haven't we? We've always had a bit of a stuttering start and even looked a bit in danger of a relegation scrap around the Christmas time sometimes, and then suddenly hit the sort of high gears in the new year and then fall a bit short. So, but this is the first time we've actually looked like, threatening those top 6 places so early. And but yeah, it's the curse of the live tables for me. When we went 2-0 up on Saturday, I thought, this must be get us right up there. I looked at third, and I thought, I might regret looking at that because I did it when we went 1-0 up at Burnley on the last game of last season. You make that mistake looking at the table, but they plastered it all over the screen then anyway because it's on Sky. It's the last day, but yeah, that's always it's always
an error to start dreaming of what might be.
It's not that long ago that you had to wait till you got home and put teletext on, or even the next morning's papers before you could see the league tables. So.
Do you know what? It's coincidental you say that, and this is one for the kids. I was telling my wife last night about running round to the local newsagents Saturday evening for the classified edition to find out the football results. Do you know what? Her eyes glazed over. Merv. You can't tell some people about history, can you? Clearly.
No, I mean, that was an amazing thing. That wasn't it? I mean,
feet of printing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I remember coming out. We played Derby away. I think it was New Year's Eve when we won 1-0 right at the end.
Yeah,
and we were coming out, and they kept us in for a little bit, and we came, when they let us out. The young lads were selling this. I think it was called the Pinken up there then.
Right. Yeah.
And and people couldn't believe. What these are today's results, and so it was. I think they stopped doing it in London for quite a while by then. This was like 1988.
I think the teletext started.
but we come out the ground having just beaten Derby 1-0, and there was all the results and everything in this paper. It was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, now obviously everything's instant.
Well, we're bombarded with information constantly, in-game info, as you've just said. Interesting with the start to the season. Just going back to that, I mean, obviously 10 games in, we've won 5 games. Big difference. I mean, you're right about we're historically slow starters, but we've managed to. I think Alex Neil's talent is scratching wins out from the bottom of the barrel pretty much. He manages to get results where others might have drawn. He seems to get wins. This is on
definitely.
It's been hit by injuries, Merv. I mean,
yes, definitely, yeah. I mean, we've said this after the Sheffield United. Mostly, I think it was Don Goodman, who I know he isn't our biggest fan. He was co-commentating,
right?
But he did make quite a good point that Alex Neil creates very good away teams. Teams that will go away from home and frustrate the home team and perhaps not have the lion's share of the game, but nick a result. And that's exactly what we've been doing. We did that at Sheffield United. We did it at Norwich. We nicked a point at Swansea. Yeah. And we did it again on Saturday. It was really impressive because we got off to such a shaky start. which thanks to our standing goalie.
Max Crocombe, I was going to mention him to start us off. That was some save. We were just saying off air, listeners, that having seen the save on the reel on screen, so to speak, it somehow didn't look quite as spectacular, Merv, as it did perched up in the height of the metal girder end or whatever they call it there. It looked a really, it was a really powerful shot on target, and he got down really well, Crocombe. I thought he did really well.
He came out of nothing, didn't it, through like a crowded goal area, and I can't remember, was it Frey that flicked it on, and the guy hit it first time.
Yeah.
He can't have had much warning of it, and it had come through a crowd of legs.
Yeah.
Got that save that early. Like I say, it'd have been cold. I think I saw Tony Mundy post on X earlier when the Millwall official account posted a video of it again, and he said like it's underrated, and he's spot on it because he was he's just come in as a replacement for Bender, and he's cold. QPR got off to a good start, and it had that goes in, and like you say, we're really up against it. But to pull off a save like that, and I thought after that, the whole defence looked a lot more comfortable.
Well,
in front of him.
I think people have said online it established confidence because I'm not one to slate goalkeepers, but Stephen Bender has done some good saves this season.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, this is.
But he doesn't inspire confidence, whereas I think Max Crocombe does.
Yeah, I think that we've discussed before that Bender's a great shot stopper.
Yeah,
but and I don't know if it is down to him or if it's just one of those things. But I always feel when with Bender in goal, that the defence, when the other team are piling on the pressure, the defence look really shaky, and then when the opposition are sticking high balls in and crosses and corners are coming in, they look really jittery, and obviously that then permeates to the rest of the team or to the fans.
Well, it sends a jitter through the whole side, doesn't it? If your goalkeeper's shaky,
Look totally. There was one where they fired over, and it was only inches over the bar, and he just left it. And again,
that was steel nerve.
Well, again, our old mate Don Good wouldn't give him the credit for that. He said, I think he misjudged that. I think he could have been embarrassed by that. When you look at the replay, obviously Sky replayed it in slow-mo. The look on his face, because a good goalkeeper knows where he is, what his position. He knows where he stood. In relation to the goal. That's why goalies mark their area, didn't they? Used to get in trouble for marking their area with the studs, so they know whereabouts they are. And they're angle experts, aren't they? They know which angles are you're less likely to score. And I honestly got the impression that he thought, no, that's over that. And they say he was so calm and cool, and I just think that spread amongst the rest of the defence, the whole team. You just felt really assured with him, even in the last knock-ins when they were really obviously throwing everything at us when they got that late goal. Like the most impressive thing for me was when just coming and commanding his area and coming and collecting crosses and the balls, where
he took those really well through the game.
It looked like there was no doubt who was getting that ball.
And he didn't flap, and I think that's again, I am slating Bender, and I don't mean to, listeners, but you're critiquing, I suppose, aren't you, Merv? But I just think Crocombe took crosses and held them. There was one, he punched one that was down the far end from the away end.
Near the end,
and he punched it, and that was the only time I thought, apart from that, he was solid, and it's really reassuring. I thought the whole defence, as a performance, they're up against two lumps in the QPR front two, Frey and Kone. I'm looking at on BBC website.
Yeah.
And I thought they handled them really, really.
They did,
well.
Frey is a handful. And I must admit, I was really chuffed to hear the Harry Potter songs again. I always enjoy them. That was great. That's brilliant.
It took me a while to get that.
Yeah, because I remember last year, I think he scored against us. I think he scored the equaliser against us last year, and they started. But the Harry Potter songs and the cracking bit of shithousery from Crocombe towards the end when he went down with cramp.
Yes, he did.
You could see a handful of QPR fans absolutely purple with
rage,
and all sorts. And he just sat there, because it just broke the momentum, and it was really. Well,
they were getting ahead of steam together.
Yeah, they were getting some momentum. They were just firing it in. The ball had gone up for 8 minutes, bloody injury time, and he down. I've got a bit of cramp.
Wonderful stuff.
Has a little energy pouch, and QPR were fuming, and it took the sting out of the game. It was great.
Main talking point, I suppose, the loss of Massimo Luongo, I thought has been really good for us. I haven't seen anything official on this, Merv, but ACL seems to be the word on the internet street.
Yes, it's bound to be, isn't it? The way he was taken off.
That's a tough gig from. I think he's 32, 33. So that could be not a career ender. It certainly puts him down a few levels, doesn't it, to come back from that?
Definitely, so, it's a real shame because he was doing well. He just, what I've always thought with him, and a lot of people have said this, he just keeps it simple. He does the simple things well. He just tidies up. If it's getting a bit scrappy, getting a bit mad, he just goes in, calms it down, and plays a nice little simple ball. And it was a real shame to lose him. And it's
I was trying to think who he reminded me of, and it might be a strange analogy for some, but he reminded me a bit of Hurlock in the sense that Terry was a lot better player than I think the Madcap image
I get that.
gave him. The wild man, if you like, that wasn't the full Hurlock game. Of course, he could mix it if he had to. But as a midfielder, he was a very good midfielder. And I thought Luongo is do the simple stuff.
Just go in and take control, basically. If there's a loose ball, go in and get hold of it instead of like snapping around for it
and lay it off to the others, the skill men, let them do their job. And I was trying to think of who he reminded, and it was, I think it's a touch of the Hurlock. Obviously, this injury, we'd only send our best wishes to Massimo. I don't know if he listens to the show, but if he does, then all the best for recovery, mate. I mean, that's about all you can say, really. With that.
It's a shame.
Billy Mitchell, revelation. Since he's come back from injury, Merv. I mean, honestly, that's twice in a week now he's done these long angled passes, finding the man of the match, Femi Aziz.
And Aziz, is just Aziz's return has been phenomenal. Like, so that's 2 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. He seems to have a brilliant understanding with Billy Mitchell, and QPR looked absolutely terrified whenever he got near the ball. I think the second half he had 2, sometimes 3 on him. And he just looks. The thing is, and again, this is not a criticism; it's just an observation, because obviously, in his absence, Alex Neil was starting with Idemo Emakhu. And Emakhu showed some brilliant flashes, some lovely little turns of speed, and But I just felt the difference there between Femi Aziz and Emakhu is Aziz knows exactly what he's going to do with the ball before he's even got it. And you saw that with the pass he took from Billy Mitchell for both of his goals last week, and again at QPR, and the assist. The cross. He just whips in dangerous crosses that defenders don't like. Whereas I feel Emakhu's, Emakhu I think he'll get there, but I think he's got to learn that sort of. He sort of leave it too late before deciding what to do, and then quite often the moment's gone. But I'm sure
it's a ruthlessness, Merv. I mean,
ruthlessness. That's exactly the word.
Two good passes, two terrific passes. Let's get it right from Billy to a player of talent who's controlled the ball twice in a week and done exactly what he, as you said, set out to do. But to hold your nerve, I mean, first shot was blocked well by the goalkeeper, their goalkeeper, Nardi. Incidentally, we don't often mention opponents, but I thought he was their man of the match in a sense.
Oh, he had a great game. He made a good save, and I thought the
moment 2 goal-saving, moments there. But then obviously to control the rebound and put it past actually a couple of players, because I think it took a deflection on its way into the back of the net. Nerves of steel by Femi. Already the word has spread that we'll struggle to hold him. Let's hope we can hold him.
Well, let's hope. I think I'm more bothered about him keeping fit. I'd like to see him because obviously we've got 3 games in a week in total, and he's that sort of player. This is why it's really. I mean, I thought Ballo looked good in patches as well. And I think what we need all 3. We need players like Aziz and Ballo and Emakhu. Offering a similar sort of threat, so we can unleash Aziz on the opposition for an hour, and he can go at them, and then we can bring him off and rest him and look after him, and then have Ballo or Emakhu doing the same. Rather than.
I really like Ballo. I think he's
like the look of him.
He's a less spectacular player, but he does a lot of work, and he's an intelligent boy, and I really like the look of him. I was going to ask you about Will Smallbone. Had a great shot, great save from Nardi, mentioned in really caught well by Smallbone. I'm not sure what I make of him. He looks attractive, and yet somehow doesn't control the game. I don't know if that's a fair assessment or not. But
he seems to sort of drift in and out of games, doesn't he? There was
patches, drift. Yeah,
there was patches. There was a close up on him, and I actually forgot he was playing. I thought, oh God, I forgot small bow. So yeah, I think maybe because everything was going through Aziz, perhaps, and
it may be unfair, small bone, small impact. I don't know. But,
I think they're all going to. I mean, like I say, when Aziz first signed, I mean, I think the fans' opinion was divided. Some were unimpressed, and some felt he didn't do enough. And you look at how he's come on in a year. I think you've got to be patient and let these players, especially like Smallbone and Ballo, so just sort of bed in and find their way. But because Aziz certainly has.
Yeah, substitution for Luongo. Just going back to him was Casper Denor. I thought was a contender for man of the match, given that he's come straight back from injury, I mean, and to slot so seamlessly in. Merv, I mean, for the bulk of the game, 2/3 of the game, I'd say there.
Yeah, that's another example of a player who perhaps when he first come in, we weren't sure what he offered, and suddenly you can't imagine us without him. And you're right. Come back from injury and come on for Luongo like that and play how he did. Yeah, he's such a valuable part of the team, isn't he?
Absolutely. Up front, Ivanovic, in for the injured Josh Coburn. Got a goal, so that
that'll be the all-important goal. Yeah,
that'll be his answer to any criticisms anywhere from anyone. I think he's still a work in progress. I think Mihailo, but it's a good goal when it was an instinctive striker's goal. Strange one in a way that cross seemed to go past everyone.
Yeah,
strange.
Times seem to stand still. Yeah, they seem to watch it go past him as if he wasn't there, but he was. But I think. Again, it shows the importance of having someone like Femi Aziz in the team, someone who's going to get the ball forward quickly and just whip the crosses in. We've seen already that's two similar sort of goals he's set up like that. And I think Ivanovic he's not the sort of striker who wants to be playing like with his back to the goal or have the ball lumped up to him. I think he wants crosses whipped into him.
Absolutely,
to cause problem. And he could have had another one. He had a header that perhaps you'd expect him to get on target. But I do think that will do in the world of good now, getting that cliched, all-important first goal of the season. It could hopefully crack on now because obviously our away form is brilliant. It's a revelation this year. We're still unbeaten away. But the home form is a bit of a worry, even though obviously we beat West Brom last time out. So we've got to test that old cliche, but with a slightly different twist. We've got to see if we can do it against Stoke on a cold October Tuesday night. But
don't think it'll be raining. That's the only thing that's missing from that phrase. Not raining tomorrow night, I don't think.
No, but
we'll see.
2 home games now, Stoke and Leicester, which are definitely winnable.
2 tough games, but they're there to be taken. I think, Merv.
We often do well against, a bit like West Brom. We seem to have a bit of a thing over Stoke.
Yeah.
So and obviously last time out we beat Leicester, which almost sort of kept us up, and they were on their way to getting promoted. So it's a chance of another 6 points. Really, you've got to look at it that way.
The season is shaping up very nice. I was just looking at just before we leave Saturday's game statistics, which we don't dwell on long on this show, listeners. But Millwall 5 shots on target. Well, 5 shots on target, 2 goals. That's clinical.
It is.
Finishing.
That's what we needed.
That's what we've been searching for,
and totally.
More of the same. I won't go into XG because I don't fully understand what XG even means, really, Merv. So I shan't dwell on the XG figures there. And as you say, Stokes tomorrow night, Leicester City Saturday. So 6 big points at stake there. If we can clean up the majority of those points, then we're really in amongst it, Merv. I mean, we're sitting 6th in the table at the moment.
Definitely,
18 points to Stoke in 3rd position, and we're only 4 points behind the top 2. It's developing into a really interesting season. Obviously, there's areas where we might want to be thinking about come January. If we're still in place, the club might have a dilemma as to what and where we invest to push ahead. But I've got to take my hat off to this squad. They show real spine. They've been in some tough situations lately. I mean, the last 10 minutes once we conceded that consolation for QPR tested the nerve of anyone who was in the ground.
I must admit, I did worry that if QPR got one, they might get another, because we seem to have a habit of conceding late goals there. I remember when Holloway
was on the wobble, don't we? On a wobble. Yeah.
But thankfully, we held on, and in the end, after we got over that initial little wave after their goal, I thought we held on quite comfortably. You know, we looked pretty comfortable eventually. Yeah, it was really pleasing to see. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. So on to Stoke tomorrow night, dear listeners. I shall be doing another show on Wednesday. Merv, will you and me probably be talking again next week after the Leicester game once we're reviewing these two crucial games?
It'll be very different.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Okay, mate.
Merv, great to talk to you, mate, as always.
Mate. And you, yep.
And I'll speak to you next week.
Cheers, mate.
Stay tuned, dear listeners, for the voicemails.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized, so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Achtung, Millwall.
Welcome back, dear listeners. Huge thanks to Merv, as always. Now then, we've got quite a packed week ahead of us, listeners. This is Monday. We've got a fixture tomorrow night, Tuesday night, at home to Stoke, and another one next Saturday versus Leicester City, of course. So, busy week. So I'm going to run all of the voicemails back to back for you now, dear listeners, for your listening delectation. Huge thank you to everyone for submitting their voicemails. Really, really appreciate it. Keep them coming, please, dear listeners. So we're going to lead off now with the first of the voicemails, and that will be Rob Woodford. Take it away, Rob.
Well, Nick, I missed the game yesterday because of a long, outstanding booking with some American tourists, and everything was fine until Sky decided to change the time of the kickoff. You bastards. So not much from me this time. A great result, of course, and Femi is such an important player for us, isn't he? But a big shout out for Max Crocombe, in his first ever game in the Championship. I've heard from some of the Sky subscribers and fire stickers about the abject commentators, but thankfully I was able to catch up this morning with the replay on the club's website and the expert commentary from Carl Bates, ably assisted by Andy Marshall. Batesy, by the way, came on last weekend's Millwall History Tour on the Isle of Dogs, as did yet another one of your dear listeners, Michael Caulfield, who also talks a good game. And a big thanks to Achtung Millwall for publicising this event, Nick. And the next one is on the 28th of March, another international break. And 20 of the 30 tickets available have been sold already. So we're very pleased about that. But back to the football, and despite some disappointing defeats at the Den this season, we find ourselves in 5th place with 2 attractive home games against top 6 teams coming up this week. What a great time to be a Lions fan. Come on, you Wall.
Nick, Aussie Dave here, after that wonderful victory at QPR. The match, I would describe it overall as hard fought and probably well deserved. I think you could argue equally maybe a draw, but I think we just edged it. And bearing in mind that I thought QPR were an okay side, so it makes the victory even more impressive. And interestingly, when's the last time we scored 2 goals in the first half? Reviewing the game, I want to do it by looking at just a few players. Aziz, last week after West Brom, I said he's our most valuable player. I think it's obvious to everybody. In the 2 weeks he's played, we've scored 5 goals, and he's been responsible for 4 of them. Now, that's good and bad. My major concern is I reckon he's the one irreplaceable player in our team. Look at all the others, and you could probably think of an alternative in the squad. So if he's not playing, I think that seriously affects our attacking efficiency. Anyway, fingers crossed, if he plays 35 games, we'll do okay. Second point, the centre-half pairing, Coops and Crammer, they were fantastic and close to edging Aziz out for man of the match. And I wonder if Alex Neil now is going to be very reluctant to even think about Crammer going at right back for a few games and bringing Taylor in. Third one, Crocombe in goal. unlike his predecessor, this bloke doesn't give me the willies. I reckon he's a must from number one now. I know it's only one game, but you just get just the eye test tells you he just looks assured and seems to act like a proper goalkeeper. Point 4, Billy Mitchell, dodgy start and seemed to be going out of his way to try and get a yellow card. But I thought by the end he was up there in the top 3 or 4 players. And it was great to see Dinor come back and be quite effective. One final player, Coburn, didn't play. I don't know if you've watched Drive Home with TT on YouTube, but he said he's going to be out for a while. I don't know where he got his info from, but that's a worry. The last thing is, I think we're almost, with a full squad, I think you can almost see a core 7, maybe 8 players of the last couple of weeks that you think, if everyone is fit, that Alex Neil would choose, which is unusually stable considering, we send you chalk and change every week. But I think you're beginning to see quite a few players who would be first choice. Finally, on to Stoke. I reckon the most intriguing thing is team selection, particularly with a 3-day week. But if Aziz plays, we will win. Come on, you Lions.
All right, Nick, it's Hassan here. Get in, eh? What a result. What a great result away at a place we don't often win at. It was difficult. It was difficult going into it, obviously. They've been 6 unbeaten. I thought in the first half, they didn't really test Crocombe much, but they got forward quite well. They got forward in numbers, and they always seem to have the spare man, QPR. I thought, you know what? I said to the guy next to me, we'll be lucky to get to half-time 0-0. And to put out 2 goals before half-time was just brilliant. Right on cue. Carbon copy, almost. Billy Mitchell, Aziz combination. Lovely ball over the top. Aziz had the first shot saved, then got the rebound. And then the second goal was really weird because I think it was coming to half-time, so you're sort of like, winding down a little bit. I see the ball go in, and I thought, well, that's going wide. Next minute, fucking Ivanovic just ran off celebrating, and there was like a delayed reaction. It was really, really weird. But, I'll take it 2-0 up. We controlled the majority of the second half. I thought the game changed when Dinor went off. It was horrible to see Luongo go off on the stretcher, and it doesn't look good. And a man of his age, you'd be surprised if you see him again this season. I hate to say, but it doesn't look good. But Dinor came on, and I thought, you know what? He's just come back from injury. He got 80 minutes in him? Because I think he came on about 10 minutes. And when he went off, I think he was cramping. I hope that's what it was. And we lost that solidity in the middle of the park. And they started to get more room once Dinor went off. But and they got a goal. I need to watch it back. I don't really remember it. I know they broke through the line. But other than that, I think we defended really well. I think you could put, if you're looking for man of the matches, you could put Billy Mitchell, I think, in that category. It was a bit shaky in the first half, but much improved second. And gets another assist to his name. I thought Cooper and Kramer dealt with Voldemort quite well. And also Kone, fucking fat ass he is. Just what I gotta say, Nick, I've never seen such a dirty side for a long time. The diving, the cheating, the referee, he's an absolute mug. He's either taking a brown envelope or he's just plain poor, because they completely fooled him. Every single opportunity QPR players got a chance to get on the floor, they did, and he fell for it. Yellow cards, needless yellow cards. They had a little shrimp who was taking the throw-ins. He kept throwing himself on the floor. I thought, what a scumbag. That fat bastard Kone, he's another one. Big lump like that, throwing himself on the floor. Even Voldemort, I don't know what his fucking name is. I keep calling him Voldemort. He looks like him. The guy next to me said again, like, he's playing on roller skates. Cheating bastard. So I'm glad we got the victory. Such cheating. I've never seen such a team cheat like that. But nonetheless, yeah, good victory. Keeps the away run going. Hard to beat away from home. In terms of personnel, I was happy to see Bender not in the team. I'm sorry, like, I know he's had good games here or there, but even you can see today, Crocombe, I know he let a goal in, but he's so much better than fucking Bender. I'm sorry. The defenders look more comfortable. He claimed a few crosses. He made a good save very early on in the first half. And I felt more comfortable with Crocombe in goal. He's just a lump, isn't he? He's just a unit, more vocal. And to be honest with you, I don't know why Bender wasn't missing, but if he comes back straight back in the side, I wouldn't be happy with that. I'm sorry. For me, I was much more comfortable with Crocombe in the goal. And this is someone who hasn't played any football this season apart from the odd cup game. And he looked like he hasn't played, missed anything. For me, Crocombe all day long. I was happy to see him play. Back four was good. Sturge had a good game. Lenny, I think he was at fault for the goal, to be fair. Kept fucking about a bit on that right wing position. And QPR, by the end of the game, they had all these quick players and he couldn't deal with them. And he got mugged for the ball and they went out and scored. But otherwise, fairly solid. Cooper and Cramer, we spoke about. Luongo was good up until he got injured. Dinor, he changed the game. He changed the game coming on, and the game changed against us when he went off. And you can see, we like Luongo, but Dinor is another level above Luongo. He's like Luongo, but he's got ball playing skills as well. And I thought he was fantastic. Billy Mitchell potentially man of the match. Aziz potentially man of the match. I thought he was fantastic. Every time we got the ball to him, he looked dangerous. He got another goal, and it has to be said, we keep talking about Imaku. He's come back 2 games, 2 goals, and he's looking dangerous. That's anyone who's not playing because of Aziz is in the way. That's what you got to get to. Those are the levels you got to get to, and I'm really happy for him. I hope he stays fit. The longer he stays fit, the better team will be, I believe. Ballo had a good game. He tracked back well. He looked well going forward. Small run was all right. He had I was getting frustrated with him a little bit in the first half. Felt he was a bit lightweight. Same with Mahilo. Up until the goal, he done fuck all again. He done nothing. I was shouting at him to move. There was times where Dinor would pick up the ball. He's looking up, and Mahilo is the wrong side of the defender, and I'm saying, fucking move, make a run, do something. But I'm glad he scored. Hopefully that's what he needs to, get his head out his arse a little bit and start contributing a little bit more. I thought overall, apart from the goal, he still had a quiet game, better than others, but still quiet. But nonetheless, it's another good victory. We're now 3rd, I believe. I think I'm recording this at 4:10, so anything can happen. But it's good though. Just keep consistent. We've got 2 more difficult games coming up, Stoke and Leicester, I believe. So all we can do is stay firm and hopefully don't lose any more players to injury. Hi Nick, over and out.
Evening Nick, Rob Abbott here. First, it was great to meet you in person yesterday and say hello at Loftus Road. And then secondly, what a great victory that was for us. And the 3 points come home. No real surprises with the starting 11. Obviously, there was 2 changes, but they were injury forced. A lot of people, including me, I was quite happy to see Crocombe come in and be given a chance. And then obviously, when Coburn was out injured, it was always going to be Ivanovic back leading the line. And both of them had really, really positive games. But let's start with Crocombe. He come in. He was called into action after about 20 seconds. We completely switched off from a throw-in, and he made a great save low down. That would have gave him loads of confidence. But throughout the game, he looked very assured, commanding his area, good under the high ball, and his kicking wasn't too bad neither. But QPR started brightly there. That 20 seconds, there was that shot. Then QPR had a lot more possession and territory in the first half an hour than we did, but they didn't really look that threatening. I was very surprised how direct they were. Crocombe, Kramer, Cooper constantly tested in the air. Even Sturge and Leonard, the amount of times I had to go up for the headers. But we survived that, and we looked quite comfortable, albeit there was another QPR chance, a shot. I think it was just around the edge of the box, outside the box, and Crocombe actually left it, and I think it flicked the crossbar. But he obviously was very confident, and he knew where his goal was. But yeah, like I said, QPR, a lot of possession, territory, direct, but we dealt with that comfortably, and then loved it. We robbed one of their players on the sideline, played it square to Billy, nice long ball over the top for Aziz to score at the second attempt, and we're 1-0 up. Sorry, I completely forgot. We had a great move, West Smallbone, and I was directly behind it, albeit at the other end of the stadium in the top tier there. What a save that was. Would have been an unbelievable team goal, that. But going back to we're 1-0 up. Aziz, great ball by Billy. Like I said, great finish. And we looked comfortable there. And then to steal one, a second one just before half time was absolutely brilliant. I think this was really the first time Ivanovic come into the game. There was a long ball down the channel that he took on his chest and then put pressure on the QPR centre-back to get that throw in. And then from that, we then scored. I thought he wasn't really in the game for the first half an hour. Wasn't challenging the QPR defenders. He wasn't getting on the ball, etc. But from that moment on, he scores the goal. The second half, I thought he was a different type of centre-forward player. Played a lot better, got a lot more involved, put a lot more pressure on the centre-backs. Won us the ball higher up the pitch, won us throw-ins higher up the pitch. Delighted for him, and that first goal, hopefully that brings him confidence to go on for the next few weeks and to bang in a few more for us. 2-0 up at half time. Pretty happy with that. Then second half, I was expecting QPR to come out of the traps a little bit quicker than they did, but it was a nothing game, to be fair. And until we sort of made the subs, QPR made a lot of subs. One of their guys, I don't know his name, come on and looked quite lively. And then our subs, we changed our whole front four. Smallbone dropped back in, and Casper went back off. Great to see him back. He put in a really good shift there of 60 minutes coming on for Luongo, who I felt sorry for. And I think he's going to be out for a long time. He'll be a big miss. But going back to the subs, they didn't really have an impact for us today. They taken off the pace of Aziz and Barlow, who I thought was very good as well. Sort of pinned ourselves back in. Then we conceded. As soon as we conceded, we actually changed our shape. We went to a back five, and Doughty moved to a right wing back of the back five, and Negley moved across to the other side of the pitch, and Leonard tucked in as right centre back. But look, we conceded. We won't get much joy in the attack, but we saw the game out, and I give Doughty and Negley some credit. I think they killed off 2.5 minutes in there on the corner flag, right in front of the away fans there, which was a delight. And we took the points back home. Good win. Did we play well? We did in large spells. I thought we defended very well. Did we look threatening on the attack? We did in spells. And then there was a stage where we weren't really in the game. But at the end of the day, it's putting the ball in the goal and stopping it in your end, and we move on up into the playoff positions. Looking forward to Stoke and Leicester this week, 2 big home games, and we've got to just continue the home form from West Brom onwards and make the Den a bit more of a fortress. Really good to see a really strong bench SD with Harding nowhere near the bench, Bangura Williams not on the bench, no Derek on the bench, which surprised me. I think I mentioned that when I saw you. But we're going to need this depth again now, because there's going to be one change anyway for midweek with Luongo out, and I don't think Casper will be able to go again anything more than 60 minutes come Tuesday. So I wouldn't be surprised if we either saw Derek in centre mid alongside Billy, or whether Smallbone drops deeper to play alongside Billy, and then either Negley, Cundall come in as the number 10. Maybe Bangura Williams back on the bench, but we'll see. But overall, delighted. 3 points, great away day. Some atmosphere there in the away end, and we move on. Next 6 minutes, a lot of mumbo jumbo waffle there and jumping around the place. But I've had a really long Sunday with family, but thought I'd drop you a message to hear on the pod that you'll be releasing tomorrow. Take care, mate.
No worries about that at all, Rob. Great to meet you too at the ground yesterday, mate. And Rosalind, who is our new representative on the fan advisory board as well. So a big shout out to Rob Abbott from Dublin and also to Rosalind, both of whom I said hello to yesterday at Loftus Road. We're going to take a short advertising break now, dear listeners, and we'll be back after that with Jim Hackett.
Achtung, Millwall.
Well, Nick, Jim Hackett here. Just a couple of thoughts about yesterday's game. I watched it on Sky, so obviously you got a very unbiased view of Don Goodman and all the Sky commentators who were desperate for us to actually get caught back, and unfortunately for them, we stuck it out and got 3 very welcome points. And the game itself, what a strange beginning. Obviously, the team came out and suddenly Crocombe and Ivanovic are in there in place of Bender and Coburn. And that, there was no whispers about anything that I heard anyway. And, you know, that's how it was. But to be fair, I was quite comfortable with Crocombe coming in there. Ivanovic made me not so sure, but that sort of come back and sort of got us something, didn't it, out of the game. So hopefully Coburn's not too badly injured, but lovely to see Ivanovic get his goal and get off the mark for the season. But the game, when it started, I mean, Crocombe had his save in the first 30 seconds. And to be fair, that set the tone for the rest of the game, I thought, because QPR didn't look too bad to me. They looked very bright going forward and they certainly created lots of chances. But their chances were sort of half chances, 3/4 chances, not quite the chances that they should have scored. And our our central defenders definitely held out very well. And you know, you've got to give them 2 praise. They sometimes come in for a bit of stick at different points, but yesterday they were magnificent, and good luck to them. They sort of deserved a bit of praise. And Cooper stood up yesterday as a captain. I looked at him at different times, and he was jostling people around. He was talking. He was in the referee's ear. He was doing all the things you'd expect. And maybe as a mature player, it suddenly sort of registered with him that he's got to do a bit of that. But back to the game anyway. I thought we started off really poorly. We just seemed to be off the pace, and unfortunately, the one person off the pace that stood out was Billy Mitchell. He must have given 3 or 4 fouls away very, very quickly, and then sort of everybody else followed on because everything was a whistle and everything was a foul against us. And as poor as the referee was, they didn't give him a lot of help in putting stuff our way, because whatever was going on, our lot were just not at the races, and it just looked a bit ominous, you know, until probably until Lionel got injured. And then once Casper came on, I did think that not just Billy, but I thought the rest of the team seemed to sort of just settle down a bit, and we started keeping the ball better. We started passing to each other, something we hadn't done for the first sort of 25 minutes, and we just then turned into a slightly different team going forward. And when you've got the 2 wide players that we've got at the moment, I mean, Femi Aziz, he can be a little bit flattering at times, but when he gets it right, it's absolutely fantastic. And then obviously after, you know, being under the cosh for sort of however long it was, half an hour, and that one great ball out. I mean, it was a nice win of the ball from Casper. Billy picked it up, and then suddenly he's turned into a Brazilian and is smashing it. Lovely pass forward. Femi got lucky in the fact that the ball came back to him and he had a second bite at it. But you know what? Sometimes you make your own luck, and that was out of nowhere. But you can't say it wasn't well taken. It was a fantastic goal, got us going, and all of a sudden we looked a different team. Then we started keeping the ball better. Then we started passing it around, and you've got to say again, for the second goal, it was one of those balls that if it had come through us, we wouldn't have been happy. But there was enough quality on it just to clip the head of one of their defenders who should have done better. But somehow it ends up finding its way through to Ivanovic, and how lovely to see him put it in the net with just a little flick of his head, and that's hopefully him off and running for the season. Then we got obviously I think Alex Neil's half-time talk would have changed at that sort of those 2 seconds between the goal and half-time, but it was a fantastic way to finish the half. And obviously I think we were in dreamland because nobody could see it coming. And then we get to the second half, and you know, Chris
QPR had their chances and they worked hard and they sort of got us working and defending well. But I thought we were looking pretty comfortable and with a bit more ambition, we might have got something more out of it. But we didn't need to go chasing anything, and everybody was playing their part and keeping it safe and, not overextending themselves to go for another goal. And we looked comfortable. And then all of a sudden, when he started making his changes, it all went tits up for me. I think when you look at the players he took off, they were the ones who were actually winning us the game. So it was Femi, Ballo, Ivanovic, and then Kasper, which was obviously the strange one, but I suppose sports science comes into play for maybe 2 or 3 of them substitutions. And he brought on Negley, Doughty, Cundall, and Langstaff. And I've got to say, when you looked at the QPR substitutions, you looked at our substitutions, the difference theirs made compared to what ours did. And, with the best will in the world, you couldn't look at Doughty yesterday and say that he looked like a professional footballer. He came on and within seconds you could see he was blowing. He had no pace. He couldn't get anywhere near the ball now. And I understand the lad's been injured and it will take him a little bit of time to get back. But if he can't be made to look like a professional footballer, and there's something wrong, and our sports science department, our management have got something to do there, and it can't be. He costs a lot of money. He's a naturally gifted footballer, therefore he gets away with living how he wants or doing what he wants. That to me isn't the way that the fans want to see, and it's even more criminal, I suppose, the fact that he's a Millwall supporter and he's come to the club of his dreams. And I think somewhere along the line, somebody should actually take him in hand or get hold of him. And Alex Neil's job is that, get hold of him and make him into what he should be, what we paid our money for. He's a fantastic footballer, but you could see yesterday that physically and the energy he didn't have, his look, everything about him just didn't look right. And why Alex Neil would have put him on a football field astounded me when you look at the players he had to go with. And as for the other 3, I think Negley, he just needs to find his feet still. I think there's a player there, and you can see he's very difficult around the ball because he seems to have extended legs. But I do like him, and he'll come. And I think Cundall and Langstaff were there just to work their knackers off, and unfortunately they did. But we didn't actually get a lot out of it. But ultimately, despite the 8 minutes of additional time, the lads held out well, and we got I don't know if it's a well-deserved, but it was a well-defended win. But you couldn't see it for most of the first half. And then once we were 2-0 up, you could see us winning comfortably and then really nearly throwing it away. But as it was, we got away with we didn't get away with a win. We won the game and got the 3 points. Our defensive display justified. I think looking at the players that came in, Ivanovic, again, once he scored his goal, he looks a different player, and hopefully we can build on that now. And and if him and Coburn can get themselves firing a little bit, then it does give options for that formation change. Crocombe to me looked safe, agile, all the things that Bender doesn't look when there's crosses coming in. I think Crocombe took about 3 or 4 crosses, and that's probably as much as Bender's took all season. But he looked good. He kicked okay. He actually looks to me like a goalkeeper. That he can catch the ball and kick the ball and pass the ball and save the ball, which is the main thing. And that saving the first 30 seconds must have done him the world of good. And then Kasper coming back was brilliant. I mean, it's a shame Luongo got injured, and let's hope he picks up and it's not as bad as it looked. But thank God we had Kasper to come into the team and slot straight in seamlessly. Then now we go on to Tuesday night, and let's hope he doesn't tinker with the team, and that same team continues to pick us points up. Because I have to say, Cranmer and Cooper now look on the mark. Kasper and Billy in the middle, and if we get 1 or 2 of the strikers going well, and we've got Crocombe, then the spine of our team is very solid, very difficult to break down. And I did watch the Stoke against Wrexham game afterwards, and Stoke, very similar to us, they've got wide players who are really decent. The only difference they haven't got that we've hopefully got now is a striker. Their striker's a young lad who couldn't hit a barn door at the moment, but no doubt he'll probably score a hat-trick on Tuesday. But for me, very happy with the 3 points. Lots of work to do, I still think, with the team. But, when you're winning and not playing so well, even better. So on to Tuesday, come on, you Lions.
Nick, Matt Richards, just giving my thoughts after today's excellent win. God, how quick do things change, eh? Only two games ago, it's all doom and gloom. And then West Brom and today, and it's, we're up to, I thought we were third and then we're fifth, and now I think we're sixth. But anyway, it's really, you kind of look at the points and you think we've had a really good start to the season. It's our best start since 95, 96. I know I tweeted it out earlier, which was probably not a good omen because we went down, obviously. But I thought today, it was a battling performance, wasn't it? But I mean, I've watched the game back again since. QPR, they had good possession, but they never really cut through us, hardly ever. Obviously the goal, and they had one chance towards the end. Crocombe made that brilliant save in the first minute. But we're just such a difficult team to play against. We really are. Well, usually home and away, but I mean, obviously at home we've let a few goals in this season, but against two very good teams. But away, we're just so solid, and we battle, and we did that today. Crammer and Jake in the middle were superb. You got that, was it Frey and Kone? Played two up top, two good players. Well, definitely Frey, he's a handful anyway. He scored against us, didn't he? I think it was last year. And then the fast winger down the left, was it Smith, with this shot? They've got a good attacking team, and they played well. So to kind of limit them was really good and really solid. And we hit them on the break, didn't we? Hit him on a break for the first goal, and obviously it was a good crossover and a great instinctive finish by Mika. Really, really pleased for him. But yeah, the first goal, just quickly on that, great work by Kasper, battling to win the ball back from their throw on. And he kind of passes out to Billy, and Billy obviously another great ball by Billy, like the West Brom game to Femi. So that was great to be 2-0 up, as everyone's saying. It's 2-0 up at half time. It was a joke, really. We were not 2-0 better than them at half time, but we'd always take it. And we knew they'll come at us a bit in the second half, but they didn't really, did they? Didn't really. So we held on for a vital win. It's sad for Luongo, because I think he's been an excellent player, one of our best buys this season so far. He's been so consistent. He wouldn't have expected to play as many games. Alex Neil wouldn't have expected him to play so many games, but because of injuries, he's just had to. But yeah, it was and it sounds like it's a nasty one as well. So that's another injury. Obviously, Coburn's I don't think is that bad. Haven't heard what it is yet, but it's definitely not as bad as the one goes. So Bender's out, but as we saw today, I was really impressed with Crocombe. I was a bit worried about Crocombe because I was thinking everyone's going, "Oh, we need to put Crocombe in," but I thought I haven't really seen him in the league match, so I wasn't quite sure. But I was really impressed by his confidence for crosses. He just seems like a confident boy, like almost a bit arrogant, so to speak. And I think you need that to be a keeper. And yeah, he made the saves when he needed to as well. So that's a positive. And players coming back. Kasper did well, didn't he? Really solid. He's getting into the game, so it's good to get some minutes in his legs. Because we've got two very important, really important, aren't they? But two important games coming up, 2 home games, which I'm away for. I'm gutted. It's a shame, it's bloody half term, isn't it? So we're booked and we're going away. So I'm missing the 2 home games. But I mean, if we can pick up some points, ideally 6, but at least like 4 points from them. We just got to stay around the top 6. That's all we've got to do until Christmas, and then kick on from there. That's all we expect. But I think this is really, there's no standout. Coventry are already a standout team. I didn't think Borough that great, but I don't see anybody else running away with it this year. I know it's early days, but I really do think we've got a chance. we're still to gel as well. I think as a team, still we haven't got everybody back fit and gelling and understanding each other's game. But yeah, brilliant win today. Let's just keep it going, keep ticking over, keep getting the points. Okay, Nick. Cheers, mate. Come on, your lines.
So there we go. Millwall still unbeaten away as we travelled over to West London to put them upstarts, QPR, in their place. And for the first 20 minutes, you thought that QPR, who are supposedly the informed team in the championship, which was, of course, repeatedly voiced by the commentators, one of who couldn't get any of our names right. Apparently, we have a right back called Leonard, okay, which was a nice one. And then we had a goalkeeper called Crow Co, whatever that was. Anyway, we weathered the 20-minute storm. We grew into the game. And lo and behold, there was Billy Mitchell once again to play a long ball down diagonally across to Femi Aziz, who cut inside, took a shot, which rebounded off the goalkeeper's legs, but he was there for the rebound and he put us 1-0 up. Happy days. And then just before the end of the first half, Ivan, the big effing Serbian, got his first goal of the season. A lovely ball from Aziz, which went a low flat trajectory, which went straight over the defender. And there he was. He stooped low just to nod it past the keeper. Of course, QPR came back at us in the second half. Yes, they got a goal, but by then we were tiring and we were trying to expand our game and hit back at them. And they caught us on the op, really. But they were never really a danger to us. And so Millwall march on. We're now in the heady heights of the top six. And we face Stoke City on Tuesday night. So all you can say to that is turn up at the Den. Come on, you Lions.
Hi, Nick. Glenn here. So that was a good game. Really enjoyed that. I think there was definitely periods where QPR or Millwall were in charge and bossing the game. The pendulum did swing several times, so that was really entertaining to watch. I think what I was thinking about with the goalkeeping situation. I'm sorry for Bender that he's got injured, but I actually think this might be a blessing in disguise because the one thing I sensed when Crocombe was in goal was just how calm everybody was and just how in control of his area he was, and every cross was collected cleanly. He was very savvy and knew how to waste time as he should do, and just seemed to me to be a much more rounded keeper with a lot more experience. Probably more of what we need at the moment rather than an experimental young man who's played very little. So, sorry, Bender. Hope you get well soon. But I hope by the time you're feeling fit again, Max Crocombe's had a chance to really prove to everybody what he's capable of. Because I suspect he may nail down this place till the end of the season. I think just the other question you mentioned about having loads of voice notes, and obviously lots of people sending in loads of comments, and I myself have been guilty of this in the past of waffling on for too long. So maybe an idea is to keep all voice notes down to less than 3 minutes, and that way you can fit more people in. My only final point I was going to say was I thought defensively that really was where this game was won today. Our defence was stoic and fought manly for the entire game, and I think QPR made one error and that let Ivanovic in, and that sealed the game for us. So huge credit to them. They've done really well, and I've got to say I think Billy Mitchell had a 7 out of 10 game today. He's capable of better. Some of his passing was a bit awry, but he really grew into the game, and I think in that second half, considering he was carrying a yellow card, him and Leonard for that matter did very well to stay on the pitch. So well done all round, and I'll call it a day there on 2 minutes. Cheers.
Achtung, Millwall.
Hello, Nick. Mark Willoughby. Just thought I'd give you a quick note after the QPR game, which I was very lucky to actually get a ticket for. Just wanted to mention that it's getting hard to get tickets. I'm hovering around the 600 mark on points, but I was on the sort of fourth rung for getting them, and they'd sold out by the time I called. But I went on a reserve list and got a call a couple of days later that someone had returned this, so I managed to get in. So I did hear that people were buying tickets earlier on in the season for friendlies and like the Newport game that they had no intention of going to, just to get their points up. Probably it was the Palace and Charlton games coming up that made them do it. But yeah, there should be advantages of supporting teams like Millwall, but it seems that the sort of tactics that happen in the Premiership that we all hate so much might be rearing their head a little bit. But anyway, managed to get one. Also managed to get one just about for Oxford as well. So, but it's becoming a bit of an issue. Anyway, great day yesterday. Very nice tribute to Gordon Jago before the match. A good manager for both teams, of course. And then so on to the match. QPR, the form team, so no surprises. They came right at us. And there was a good save from Crocombe in the first minute, which was, I think he played well and should retain his place. QPR kept coming at us. They had a good chance, and Lenny did well to lean into his man to sort of balk him and stop a certain goal. But QPR's high press left gaps, and of course now we've got some pace about us, which is great to see. Smallbone had a great shot, very well saved. But then once again, Billy Mitchell with a fantastic quarterback ball to Femi Aziz, who managed to control it. Had a first-time shot, which the goalkeeper saved, but it fell straight back to Femi, and in it went. And against the run of play, really, we were 1-0 up and couldn't quite believe it. But again, we sort of built from that, and we had some more chances, even though QPR continued to press. Aziz put in a great cross for Ivanovic, who don't quite know how he didn't get his head on it. It's almost like he held back rather than leant in. Anyway, another Aziz cross, which wasn't such a good cross, but it somehow got a touch from one of the QPR defenders and went straight into the path of the Serb, and this time he just nodded in, and in we went 2-0 up at half time. We were sort of scratching our heads a bit about how it had happened, but very pleased that it had. Second half, I thought we looked a bit better after the break, but still more chances for QPR than for us. But so good that we have a strong bench, and that, you know, we've got the players coming back from injury. We managed to see the game out despite a late goal and a ridiculous amount of injury time. The down point, I guess, was an injury to Luongo, but Casper came on and showed no rust whatsoever, so it was great to see him back. He got a very warm reception, rightly so. And we've got a big game with 3 games in the week and 3 points already and into the top 6. Imagine how well we do if we start playing consistently well. Come on, you Lions.
Huge thank you to Mark there. He makes a really good point about the ticket situation. This is the price of success, listeners, isn't it? Of limited away allocations as well. QPR 1,700 upper deck only. We're easily going to sell out that on a London derby. Same at Oxford. I think that's also now sold out, and I'm afraid it's going to be the price that gets paid for doing well in a division, because, you know, clearly there's a surge of excitement around the Den at the moment, and the demand for these kinds of closer away fixtures is going to get bigger and bigger. I was intrigued. Where did we go? It was Swansea. We took over 1,000 there, was it? Recently. So, you know, demand for away tickets is what you get when you get near the top of the table, unfortunately. But anyway, big thank you to Mark. I don't have a solution for that. The club do have a loyalty points scheme, which is as good as any other that I can see. I can't think of a better one. If anyone can think of one, do suggest it to us, and we'll try and include it in one of the shows. But a big thank you there to Mark and to everyone for their voice notes following Saturday's wonderful win at Loftus Road. I'm going to play you out now with a final voicemail, which is from Martin Colwell. I'm going to say a big thank you to everyone for their contributions. And we shall be back after Tuesday night's fixture against Stoke City. So up the Lions, Arrivederci Millwall. Bye for now.
Hello, Nick. It's Martin Colwell here. About today's game at QPR. I couldn't go because I worked till 12 on a Saturday. But a really tough game, wasn't it? I thought that they really came out the traps, QPR, what with the changes to the team, again, through injuries. But some heroic defending and also organised defending. I'll give them that. I thought Tristan Crammer was again outstanding at the back. Losing Luongo fairly early was interesting, that we could see Casper De Noor back, and he seemed to be back to his best. And it was right that he got taken off towards the end, which we did suffer from, I thought, because I thought we came under more pressure when he went off. I know that QPR had to go for it, but I thought that we missed him when he went off. But yeah, really solid display. Concerned that Ryan Leonard keeps getting booked. I know he's lost his pace and slowed down, and we've not really got anyone better to play right back, because we don't want to move Crammer out the middle, really, because he holds it together in the middle. But yeah, that's worrying that he just keeps getting booked every game now. I thought that we got on top a bit towards half time and into the second half, and we were going well. But then both teams made changes, and it seemed to suit QPR more. I know that we have to make changes because players run out of steam, but definitely suited them more, and they came on to us, and it was a bit squeaky bum time at the end, wasn't it? They had some chances, but they couldn't take. Very impressed by Max Crocombe in goal. He looked really solid. He's a big guy, and he looked under control at the back and calming. A bit less flappy than Bender, I thought, which is good, and I'd like to see him stay in goal. Thought Zach Sturge had a good game at left back, used his pace well. Jake Cooper was Jake Cooper. Ryan Leonard was Ryan Leonard. I thought Billy Mitchell had a good game, and obviously he created the first goal, and he got a booking again early, so he did well really to do what he did after the booking. We'll see Casper De Noor back in the team now, I guess, because Massimo Longo looks to a nasty injury to that ankle. And so I'm pleased about that, because I think he's a top player, Casper De Noor. And I think he was one of the few of them who could probably play at a high level. Glad to see Ivanovic get his goal. Proper striker's goal as well, in terms of the defence made a hash of it, came through, and he was able to nod it in. Like most teams, we need to be more clinical in front of goal, and especially you say that about QPR, but just generally. Because what I said previously was this division is wide open. It's wide open. There's no one. I think Leicester are probably now looking like the best team, and I know we've got them on the 25th that's next Saturday, isn't it? Yeah, we've got them, and that'll be interesting to play them. And Stoke will be hard as well in the week on Wednesday, because they got another win and they're up there. But none of these teams are special, I don't think. And I think it's really open. And I think that if Millwall can start again to avoid injuries, which they don't seem to be doing again now because more players are dropping out, we can really contend up there. It's really, really open. And gives a bit of optimism going through, not just winning results and doing well away, because eventually we'll lose away, because that's just what happens. We can't keep on not losing away, but we can start winning at home as well, and propel ourselves up there. Thought the tactics were good in terms of the soaking up. Unfortunate we let that goal in at the end, wasn't it? Really, we got caught out there. Really, all teams concede goals like that. But yeah, much to look forward to. Very promising stuff. And as I say, if we can keep our better players, the more attacking players like Femi Aziz fit, then, we can really do well in this league this season. Anyway, all the best to you and the other listeners, and bye for now.
Achtung, Millwall.
Who do you want to watch?
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.